Yeah, I can go first.
Okay, cool. That case, you can start anytime.
Sure. Let me share my screen and get my timer up and stuff. One sec. Can you see the Skeptic homepage like normal, or the first page? Great. Okay. Um, hmm. my pitch is kind of similar to last week because we've just been building the stuff that we say we have. Jen, should I just do a similar one to last week, or should,
Yeah,
like?
yeah.
Sure.
I think from next week, we need to start to prepare for the pitch format, more
Yep.
for the format for like a fundraising. So it's gonna be like actually quite different. But things like up to like this week, it's fine. What you have done this week, you just can update it, right?
Yep. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. Sure. Um, So we are Skepsi. We are an open science platform for reviewing and discussing socially impactful papers. And to understand what that means and why we think it's important, I think it's worth going back to this statistic, which was really the reason why we came up with Skepsi in the first place. As of February of this year, 87,000 papers have been published around COVID-19. And this is research which is incredibly important. It shapes the way that people live and it shapes the way that societies are constructed. And it's vital that science knows best how to deal with this pandemic. But the tools that we have to deal with these papers to figure out what's valid, what's not valid, and to share it with the general public are not up to par. Oh, sorry, back. And so Skepsi was born to tackle problems like this, pressing social issues where there is a real time urgency, there's a lot of research being published on it, and where scientists and policymakers really need research that's valid, extensible, and transparent. And if you look at what we currently have, the sort of two mechanisms of academic validity are peer review and academic journals. And so when you look at peer review, it's a slow, opaque binary process. It takes up to half a year per paper, even though there are 2 million papers being published every year. It has no version control, and papers are either accepted or denied. And at the same time, journals are closed off and static and unfairly monetized, in our opinion. They restrict access to those who pay for these expensive memberships. They don't have good interfaces for discussion and critique. And they charge thousands and thousands of dollars for something that exists on the back of volunteer academics. And so we think that we can attempt to solve this or to supplement this process through a three-step process. We take the most popular social impact papers from arXiv, we get domain experts to critique them, and then we publicly display them such that other users can comment on them. That's what Skepsi is at its heart. And if you look at the open science movement that already exists, which is the sort of foundational contributors to Skepsi, they're already doing stuff like this. We drew data from Hypothesis, which is the biggest solution at the moment, and like there are hundreds and hundreds of scientists already commenting on various issues, and so we need a platform to bring them together. And so we think this has a lot of benefits for tons of people. In terms of academics and researchers, we're giving them another reliable, transparent source for papers. For impact organizations and policymakers, they have access to the latest research. The general public gets more access to this important scientific research. Contributors have a centralized forum for sharing their knowledge. And finally, the scientific community in general benefits from research that is all of the things that we're trying to make it. It's better supported, it's more transparent, it's more strongly aligned with the way that research should be conducted. And so we want to do this through three design aspects. We want to build a world-class way of reading and annotating papers. We want to facilitate academic discussion and context through really powerful commenting systems. And then we want to take all of this data and represent it at a paper level such that people can see at a glance what a paper is about and how well it is represented, or like how effectively it's doing what it's saying it's doing. Yeah. So go check out the app at Skepsy if you want to. This is slightly newer than the last version, but it's not new. New is coming because we just finished it today. So I need to push it. I'll probably push it over the weekends, and then next time we go, Skepsy should look a lot better. Yeah, that's all.
Awesome. Let's take question from other people, and I do have a feedback for your slide too. So you guys can ask a question first. Kota, Taiho, Anna. Yeah, go ahead.
So right now the Skepsies prototype version on the website, it's like a website that you sign up and log into, but is the website, are you going to keep the actual product as a website, or are you planning to turn it into an app or something else?
We'll keep it as a website for now. If we need to turn it into an app, we'll probably use Electron, which is a way of taking web apps and you can represent them as applications, but it's tons of work. Like the good thing about websites is that there's lots of, I mean, first, like it's a big leap to take it into an app, but also like, I think the type of, we want Skepsy to be well aligned with the type of thing that people are already doing. And so you don't go to an app at the moment to read or to discuss academic papers. You go to journals, which are URLs. So I think like websites are better for that than apps in terms of keeping the user flow the same.
Okay, thank you.
One thing we're doing, by the way, recently is I just went back and coded all of the, like if you look at any individual page on the Skepsy app thing, you'll notice that it has like this big cover that's like very like dense and there's lots of information and stuff. So I took that and I stripped back most of that and it's now very like white and minimalist. So I'll be interested to see, like next time we publish it, I'll be interested to see if you guys like it more or like it less, because it's a radically different style change. But yeah, let me know what you think like next week when we've published it. That would be great.
Any other questions from other people? All right. In that case, Finn, can you share your slide again?
Yeah, give me 1 sec.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you go back to first slide, please?
The first slide.
Yeah.
This one?
I'm just again, giving you feedback because you guys just started to prepare for the final pitch. So this is the title slide, right? Next slide, please. So this one is kind of like, warming up for the intro, what's happening to like, basically like our academic paper right now, right?
Yep.
And then,
and then it's a hook.
Right. And then next one.
Yep.
The tackle that was most facing issue. Yeah, and the next one. Yeah, from here, right? I feel like a little bit kind of like a back and forth information. So like you say like this is like 80,000 papers related to like COVID, and then this is the problem, and then breakdown of the problem too, right? Peer review is slow, right? This is basically example of the problem too, right? And then can we move to the next slide?
Yeah.
Journal is a close of the silicon theory like monetized. And the next slide. Yeah. So what's the what you wanted to say from like this side? This is already like a solution slide or like?
Yeah, so I think the way it goes in my head at least is this is introduction to the trend. It's the hook. It's like something relatable that people talk to or talk about when they're like everyone knows about COVID and how important science is for it. This is sort of the problem space. Like this is the thing that we're trying to solve.
Right.
Peer review and journals to us, they're the they're the competitors. Right. They're like existing solutions, bad existing solutions. So the flow is kind of like, here's the problem, here's the existing solutions and why they're bad, here's our solution and why it's better. And then, sorry, like the why it's better is here. is this.
So this could be like actually the benefit slide for the users.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then
like,
what's the like, you know, the graph? Yeah, this one.
oh yeah, the open source.
Remains recommended. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
this one, yeah, probably like this one, you can add it to like a because like, this is still like I'm talking about the problem of existing solution too, right?
Yeah.
So probably, you know, for the next one, because I checked it today, you spend basically almost like 3 minutes to like explaining like what's like kind of like a problem, right? So probably you can move to like this slide after like, you know, 80,000 papers, or like, you know, after like 80,000 papers, you give like a statement on the problem. This is like, you know, what's going on right now, right? And then this is like a real example. And then basically you can give like this is a solution, and let us explain how product works too, right? And then you have a like a feature of the like 3 features, and then this is a benefit too. So probably you can move like this slide to part of the problem part,
Yeah.
and that gives like a probably like a better story. And then the rest of stuff from like this week or like next week, you can start to think about what type of like, you know, the paper you wanted to focus, which type of like organization, school you guys wanted to like reach out, ideal like a number of like, you know, the users for your service, like ideally how you guys wanted to like make money and stuff. That's where, like, you know, other like a piece of information you guys can start to add. I think probably this slide, it's better to move to the part of the problem side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I like in various versions I've just gotten rid of it completely. On one hand, it's kind of a different problem space or a different problem set to the problem of like having tons of research with these social issues that you've got to pass through. It's more so like I think at the beginning we were like a big issue with Scapsy that people always asked was like, how are you going to get people to comment? How are you going to incentivize people to comment? That's like one of the big flaws is like if you can't get that happening, it won't work. And so I think the original motivation for putting this slide in was like it's just demonstrating like that this is already happening, and therefore it's less of a stretch to say that people will comment on stuff like this because they're already doing it, but in a decentralized way. But it sort of falls outside of the like scope of the rest of the things that we're talking about as well.
Right. So I think this slide is still again part of the existing solution, like
Yeah.
how people use it, and then
Yeah.
what's like a stats about it, and then why this has been problem. Because the thing is, and then you can basically explain the example too, right? What's the problem like a peer review? What's the other things too, right? And then this is a solution too. I think that could be like a smooth in terms of the kind of like a pitch story.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's like a one slide I was thinking about since last week. I think the rest could be good too. And then probably like for the as you guys going to launch a product soon, you guys can add it to the real demo, for example, or
Yep.
like you can just like continue to use existing and kind of like the capture of the each feature too.
Yeah, we'll try and use an existing demo if we can. I also need to add more slides about like the businessy stuff, so like how we're going to make money. I've also
Right.
I built an AI thing last week, so I should probably include that somewhere.
Yeah,
it's
yeah, the recommendation part.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so I want to
yeah.
have that somewhere as well.
Right.
So I'll change the slide this week for that.
Okay, cool. Because for the pitch day, we have a few investors, and they're gonna ask you like how they're gonna ask you the question as investors if you want to take a receive investment or not. So probably
Yeah.
it should be you guys should be ready, you know, to raise money from them. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's do Greenberg. Nice work. Let's do Arnab next.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Actually, this timer is like quite useful. I used to use a iPad before, but now I can just use like a one screen. Oh, you're muted. Yeah, we can see you guys by your screen too.
I'm always scrambling to find the unmute button because I'm using two monitors.
Oh, I see.
Okay, let me start presenting.
All right, no, all right. You can start.
Okay. Welcome to Greenbook, a social network app created to help anyone, anywhere take care of their plants. Okay, so all of us know that it's not easy to keep plants alive. You've done it, I've done it. There's always been a point in time where we've been gifted or given a plant to take care of, and we make a mistake along the way, and it dies. It's also very difficult to not get discouraged after the first failure, because then you think, oh, I can never take care of these plants. Also, buying and selling gardening equipment and plants is very time consuming. It takes a lot of time to sift through nurseries. It takes a lot of time to figure out how to take care of these plants best. That's where Greenbook comes in. Let's take a look at some of our customer personas. So first we have the power user, Catherine. She's a plant mom. She loves her plants and would do anything for them. She knows how to take care of any plant species, like a lot of plant species, and she loves sharing her knowledge with people, like with mostly her friends, because she's always looking to get people into growing plants. Now we have a user called Ava. She's a millennial. She follows quirky trends, calls herself a plant mom, but still, you know, she has trouble keeping her plants alive, because as we all know, not everything you see on TikTok is real, or you know, maybe she has trouble keeping up with her plants due to her busy lifestyle. But she does use habit apps and is tech savvy. Okay, so we will provide easily accessible practical knowledge and how-tos to help plants survive. As you can see on the screen, we have community updates about things happening near you. We have plant health updates, basically news that can, or a newsfeed item that can help you learn more on keeping plants alive. And we will be using behavioral science and bringing together locals and professionals to foster a community, because it's not just enough to know how to grow a plant well. Sometimes we just need a little bit of motivation, a push to tell us, or a push to shows a community that is also engaged in the same stuff we're doing. As you can see here, we have a community map, and you can see all your friends on this map, and you can follow organizations, create community events, and reap the rewards. We will also be offering a go-to marketplace where all the experts and sellers, okay, this is wrong, I think I should change this. But we'll also be offering a marketplace where you'll be able to get any sort of resource that you might need to help these plants survive. And this is going to be the touch of a button. We'll be in touch with the best sellers in the marketplace and get you the best deals. As for our monetization, we'll be having a freemium AI advisor. This is our AI component. So our AI helper will tell you how your plant is doing based on data it collects. So just envision taking a picture of your plant every day and seeing how it does in real time as we tell you all the key metrics that are important to know to keep this plant alive. We'll make sure that you check in on your plants daily, and we'll also let you see plants from users all over the world. And next we have the store and marketplace. This is probably our biggest monetization metric, and the US and global markets are huge, with 15 and $83.3 billion in plant and flower growing market respectively. And yeah, we hope to connect to the best retailers, and in the end, we hope to have the most competitive prices in the market. As you can see, based on our informational interview results, most users would subscribe, and a lot of them would do it at least one time a week. Next, so we have basically the same results for our survey. So our key insights are the households want to save time and effort, because time is a precious commodity in this busy world. Sellers want to reach more novel marketplaces. We'll be in touch with nurseries and firms that create the goods and resources needed to grow these plants. And we think we have 3 core features that are crucial: simplicity, an AI advisor, because we want to do things smartly, and also community forums so that you can gain all the support you need. Here are our milestones. We're currently building up these secondary and tertiary app features and connecting things together, and have already somewhat worked on ML model and its deployment. Soon we'll have our beta release ready. And here are our team members. Thank you.
Cool. I do have a feedback, but before that, let's take a question from other members. Right? Go ahead, Paolo.
Well, I have two questions. They're kind of related. My first question is, am I right in saying that the AI advisor would get input data as an image from that's taken by the user of the plant, and then based on that, would the AI advisor then give advice on how much water they should give, whether their plant is doing well or not? What kind of data would the AI advisor provide for the user?
So the most straightforward thing that the AI advisor could do is, and this we worked on intensively, is tell you if the plant is sick. Because those are it's very straightforward to do segmentation on an image and tell if parts of the leaf look different, parts of the leaf look dried up, and things like that. Some things that are less straightforward are figuring out if the plant has enough water, or things like sensing humidity in the air. In the end, it'll all come down to tweaking our product, because a lot of these things you can also pre-program. So things like how much a particular plant, how much a plant needs to be watered every day, are probably things that you can that we will be providing in the app as tertiary data. So you can just have that data available to you. And things like humidity and stuff, we will eventually want to have sensors in our repertoire, but seeing as that is a long way out, what we hope to do in the short term is ask the user to input key readings from their weather app for their zip code, which could be a good way to go about this. And in the end, just having a collection of all that data and presenting it in a cohesive manner should do the trick.
Okay, thank you. And then for my second question, you touched this a bit, but how will you account? Because I imagine also some users using this app for plants that are not just inside, but maybe also in their attic or in their yard or in their garden. How do you account for weather? Like when you later on after you launch, when you start giving advice on how much water they need based on the humidity levels and weather, how do you account for that?
Well, it'll all come down to, I think, every time a user checks in on their plan, just about adding an extra layer in the binary tree of decisions that you make from when the user puts an image, because then all the decisions will be going down to like things like, did it rain today? Is your plant inside or outside? If it's outside, did it rain today? If it did not rain today, was it really sunny today? Things like, does the plant look visibly damaged? Yes or no? Then you could be like, wow, okay, it's not the plant having a disease, maybe just like a rat that came and ate the leaves, right? So I think in the end, it would make sense for us to have that in, because then you'll just be like putting the AI on there and be like, well, the AI is telling you something, but clearly this has been damaged by a squirrel. So I guess in the end, a lot of this data that the AI can never probably figure out has to be inputted by the user. So we'll have all those systems ready.
Do you think? Oh wait, this is the last question. Do you think if a user takes picture of the soil that the plant is in, do you think an AI model could possibly figure out its soil moisture?
I think that'd be difficult without like the soil moisture sensors. Yeah, I think that we could definitely tell what kind of soil it is, of course, to an okay degree, because in the end, like light brown, dark brown, the lighting has to be good too, right? So it has to be
Oh, yeah,
controlled
yeah.
environment first off. So maybe we may not be able to standardize that across all these different users we have. Who knows what kind of cameras they have or lighting conditions they have. So I think that is an external metric that we're gonna have to figure out either sensors for, or users have to tell us, at least for now.
Okay. Thank you.
Cool. Taiho and Finn, do you guys have any question? No? All right. Cool. Yes, so Anna, can you share the product slide again?
Of course, give me a second.
Yeah, sure.
Already, product slide.
Right. So from slide 5, right?
Okay.
That's going to be a product slide. And then I understand based on the meeting with Anna and Asma last night, basically you guys are building more like, AI model next 2 weeks too, right? More like, sorry. You guys going to launch the iOS app with the AI model too, right? So one of the things could be like, take a picture and then your AI model can give you basically feedback. Like there is a problem for the the plants. Maybe you should keep water. Like you need to take care of this. And also another one is the kind of identify like what type of like a plants you guys have it doing. Maybe it could be like olive, it could be like a basil, etc., etc. Right? So I think as you just have like 3 weeks from now, right? Basically in 3 weeks you guys have like the final pitch too, right? So I think probably it could make sense that you guys need to like change the product side based on the things what you guys have it, because many of like not many but some of like a feature could be like a kind of the future plan too, right? Community, I'm not sure if you guys can do it by the end of like a program. Another one is like a marketplace too. So and then it's coming to the problem statement, why people cannot like why they cannot keep the plants alive. So you can keep the reason why, how actually difficult to do it too, right? It may be like it has a sick, like they don't know how to like take care of stuff too. That's probably you can study to improve the problem statement, type of like a persona, and then the real solution and how products works for them and what's actually like works, right? Like what's actually like, you guys like build it. And then part of like a future plan, this is like our monetization. One is the AI model. So like if they wanted to like access to like a better AI model, they need to like pay. Another one is in the future, we are going to build a marketplace. And then the coming future could be a community, etc., etc. Because when you go into like a pitch to investors, basically you cannot pitch the feature that you guys don't have it. That's like it's very clearly, you need to clearly explain this, what you guys have done up to like at that point, what's going to be like a future plan too, right? Because otherwise actually like, you are telling the wrong information to the investors too, right? So I think probably like, from next week, ideally what you guys going to build it for the app should better to like divide it, what you guys going to have it, and then what user can use it, and what's going to be like a future plan, right? Some of the feature is the part of the future plan, and then as I understand discussion with them last night, probably it might be quite challenging for you guys to implement all the features too, right? By the end of the program. So next like 2 weeks, you guys are planning to launch the iOS app, so probably like just remove it some of like features, and then or like move it to like a part of the future plan too.
For sure, that makes sense. Yeah, we spoke to Professor Watson today.
Yeah, because like people just gonna ask you like, hey, sounds good. So is it already like alive? Can we start to use it? And then if you say, well, actually we just have like a feature 1, right? In that case, oh, okay. So like a feature 2 and 3, the marketplace, when you guys gonna have it? It's gonna take like the next like a few months. It's gonna take the next like 6 months. So in that case, actually better to divide These are things what we're gonna like what we have built it. This is how user can use it. This is our future plan too, right? So that's probably my big suggestion to you guys. And then I think yeah, the rest could be good. And you can basically, I think it's more like it makes sense that's more like a kind of like a breakdown the story, why people cannot keep the plants, how difficult it is to, right? Basically like a lack of information and stuff too, right? Lack of experience. So like this is like a real example, and then not only for like these like two people, actually I don't know, like maybe you can explain the number of like the people who started to buy plants because like a pandemic. So you can probably explain and give like a more like a generalization of the like from persona to like a market, and that could be ideal like your like a total addressable market too, right? These users could be also like your users too, right? These like a people who already bought the plants, who are like planning to buy plants. This one could be ideal user for you guys too, right? So you can basically generalize from like these like a persona to the market, Yeah.
Gotcha, that makes sense.
Right. Cool. So you guys can like modify. I mean, I understand. We understand. Like you guys are working super hard and trying to launch product as soon as possible. I think it's like some of the slide just like anybody what you guys have done, what's going to be in the future too, right? And that's like you guys could do a pitch practice next week, because like Tamaoka-san is gonna be a guest speaker in the week 8. The thing is, literally the last week of the program, as we understand, like the past 2 years, all the team probably like somebody from the team, he or she or they gonna be like working just improving like a product, so improving the pitch. So it could be like quite hectic for the last week. So I think it's kind of like a makes sense study to like slowly like prepare. No for the design part, more like a story part. All right. That's like my main feedback to you, right?
Got it. Yeah, I think there's more clarity now on what features are actually going to be able to deliver.
Right.
Like things like marketplace for sure. We'll have like a UI component ready, so you'll be able to click it and like see like examples. So we like load in maybe like 1 or 2 examples, but of course like the code for like the connection between the like the variables and the complex like algorithms probably won't be there at the point of presentation. So
right. Okay, no problem. Cool. I do not have any comment and question. I think that Nemo-san, do you have any comment and a question to them?
Thank you. I think actually I don't have any comment for today. So yeah, we move forward.
Awesome.
Yeah, my comment has been delivered through the mentoring session.
Okay, cool. In that case, let's take a picture for the image, and then we're gonna share it with everyone. All right, you guys can turn on the camera. All right, 3, 2, 1, cheese. Cool. See you guys on Slack then. Nice work, you guys.
Well,
thank you guys. Bye.
All right, have a good one. Bye.
Thank you, bye.